He started this briefing with that anti-media propaganda video, which is nothing short of disgraceful.
Some kind of backward-looking, edited video propaganda.
That was propaganda aired at taxpayer expense in the White House briefing room.
This is a temperament issue where he's consumed with ego and insecurity.
The president at times combative, angry.
That is the biggest meltdown I have ever seen from a president of the United States in my career.
That is amazing. Dana, to see people in the media talk about ego makes me laugh hysterically at them. David Gregory talking about ego and acting as though, how dare they use their own words? Those were their own words. It's not propaganda when it's their own words. Sorry.
It's one of my very favorite things to do when I was a press secretary was basically just quote somebody's words back at them. And sometimes it was the media, but often it was whatever the opposition was saying at the time. And it is really effective. I do love it that Dr. Fauci finally said enough.
Yeah.
You know, he has been so accessible to all sorts of media, including all the major networks. But I think some of his most effective work has been that he's shown that he's been willing to do Barstool Sports and Pardon My Take. He's out there everywhere to try to spread a message. But the problem is, one, never answer a hypothetical. That's kind of like PR 101. Make sure you always tell your clients, never answer a hypothetical, because that's what Dr. Fauci did. Hypotheticals are meant to sow division. And that's one of the reasons you never answer them, because there's never actually a good answer because you can't provide all the context, and they will cherry pick things to try to hurt you. So I'm glad that Dr. Fauci pushed back on that, and I think we're all better off for it, because the more he's able and willing to go out there and talk to all of us, the better off we'll be.
Dana, what if you answered a hypothetical?
That is a hypothetical, and I won't answer it.
No!
See how that's done?
Yes!
Try again.
Oh, that's why you're the press secretary and I'm just some schmuck in a sweater. All right, Juan, take it apart. Say how disgusting and unprofessional this was.
Well, I'm glad you said it. I think, you know, when you look at that video, he doesn't just take people's words. He actually omits words so that they say things that are favorable to him, and that's why people would say this is a distortion and a disgrace.
He learned that from CNN.
But to me, well, I don't care who he learned it from. CNN. He's the president. He's the president. He's our president, Greg. He has information at a time. I mean, he's totally. The way that he put Fauci out there looked like Fauci was in a hostage video. You know,
come on. That's insulting to Fauci.
Otherwise, he's going to get beat up. No, it's not.
Ridiculous.
Well, let me just say, today the president, hang on, guys. Today the president comes out with a tweet in which he's attacking the governors. I mean, come on. He says he's like the Captain Bligh on the Mutiny on the Bounty. Someone that's got to tell the president that the Captain Bligh is a villain. That
really?
The crew is abused, and that's why they rebel against him. And yet the president says, he's seen Mutiny on the Bounty and tell the governors they owe the captain and the captain has control. This is how, it's like an alternate reality. What is this guy doing?
But
because
Jesse,
he should be saying that he's protecting the American people, not about to abuse us and spark a rebellion of the governors.
So Jesse,
again, and how about
Jesse, again, we have people upset about his tweets
Greg,
while he's running the country and doing a pretty good job. Go, let's get Jesse in and then the judge.
But Greg, can I make one quick point on that?
Oh my God!
I just wanted to say, because you know what?
Like Speaker's Corner.
You hear Republicans. No, you hear Republicans right now who are up in arms over the fact that he says he has total authority.
That's the next block, Juan.
Because you know what? That's like a king.
All right. Jesse, the judge.
Juan, take a lap. I would say this. I would say the president really appreciates the power of the media, and he takes bad coverage very personally, and he's taken it upon himself to police the media, and the media is squealing like a bunch of stuck pigs because they've never been policed before. Remember, for years and years and years, it was only the media that had access to raw footage, could edit tape, and could distribute it. Now, every American, including the president, has access to the same footage. So it's not propaganda when you show the media what they said. He just held a mirror up to the media and basically said, how dare you get it wrong and then come into a briefing room and wag your finger at me like that. And the point is this, there's just a wrestling match at this point between Trump and the press over this narrative. And the narrative they want to sell is Trump was late and wrong. And the president's saying, no, I wasn't. And pulls out Fauci. Fauci says, listen, every single time I made a scientific recommendation to the president, he took immediate action. That destroys the press narrative that said he was late and wrong. And anybody that ever now, from this day forward, comes up on this show and tells me the president was late and wrong, I'm pushing Fauci in their face, and I'm going to do it with pleasure.
All right, Judge, last word to you.
Well, you could push Fauci, but you can't push other people.
Thank you. You know what, Juan? Juan, let me tell you this. There is nothing that is more important than the truth. The truth is that what was put up by the president is what they said. Period. End of that story. Number two, the reaction of Fauci, okay, let me finish, Juan. The reaction of Fauci when they tried to say to him, you're being forced to say this, was so shocking that everyone looked at and said, this guy is serious. I mean, he's not making this stuff up. The president has been living for 3 years with networks, with CNN and MSNBC, who do nothing but call him names 24/7. He has a right at some point to defend himself and point to the fact that their propaganda is a lie. And the best way to do that is with their own words. Period. End of that story.
You know, it's interesting. He's basically shattered the media ceiling. Like, it used to be the media could only manipulate the environment. He's saying, you know what? I'm going to take your words and do exactly back to you. It's new ground. You could argue, hey, it's changing things for the better, for the worse. Who knows? But I loved it.